story is coming to us today from Cointelegraph, but also from our friends over there in India. Now, some relief is said to be in store for crypto investors and entrepreneurs in India. With India's cryptocurrency versus the RBI, Royal Bank of India, that's India's central bank case, which is currently returning before the Supreme Court. And with this case, we finally have some clarity on this crypto ban from the central bank. Now, in an affidavit filed in response to a petition that is currently now before the Indian Supreme Court, the RBI explained that its ban related to just trading in crypto and does not amount to an overall ban on crypto per se. Really. Now, we have to realize that ever since the RBI issued its controversial prohibition order on cryptocurrency, a number of public and industry-led petitions have been filed by the Indian crypto community, which challenged the RBI's decision. Now, they claim that it was not only unjust, but also in clear violation of Indian law for the RBI to just step in and fiat declare that cryptocurrency is now banned. Now, in these petitions, a lot of them referenced previous judgments passed by the Supreme Court, which clearly stated that legal activities can only be shut down if a definitive risk has first been identified by the Indian Parliament and not by an administrative body like the RBI. Clear sign of an administrative body overstepping their boundaries. Now, that petition is now currently being heard in front of the Indian Supreme Court, and it's being championed by the Internet and Mobile Association of India, the IAMAI. They are a not-for-profit industry that seeks to expand and enhance India's online and mobile value-added services sector. They were also the individuals that stepped up in defense at the previous Supreme Court hearing. Now, cryptocurrency exchanges and industry stakeholders are also effectively fighting to restore access to mainstream banking services within India, which has forced these companies that trade in digital assets to either shut down or relocate out of the country. Now, some prominent exchanges have resorted to a peer-to-peer model as an interim solution to the ban. But the industry is now hanging its hopes on the Supreme Court to determine if the RBI does in fact have jurisdiction in this matter, and whether they can enforce an outright prohibition over this class of transactions, or whether they merely have the ability to restrict through FATF type regulations. Now, all manners of arguments are being presented by both sides to the panel of 3 Supreme Court judges. It's in the court right now. Now, again, this issue concerns India's national monetary stability. This concerns the need for favorable regulation to incentivize this budding cryptocurrency industry. This is going to affect the impact of mining on the Indian power grid. And I'm sure other things they're going to be discussing are going to be the financing of terrorism and financial inclusion. The Supreme Court judges, for the most part, seemed very open to the arguments that have so far been presented. And in some instances, they labeled the RBI's crypto ban as a burden-shifting ploy that was unjust. So very positive so far with the judges' open minds. Again, it all depends on the decision that they make. Now, the hearings do continue, and a favorable decision by the Supreme Court could potentially rescue the Indian crypto industry from certain regulatory doom, because it does seem very clear that the RBI has made its position very clear. Not in this country. We don't want any competition to our national sovereignty, our sovereign currency. This is a threat. We don't want this. So, my heart goes out to the cryptocurrency community in India, and I hope that your Supreme Court makes the right decision with this, at least in declaring that the RBI does not have the fiat authority to ban cryptocurrency. And again, currently they have shut off crypto on-ramps, or fiat to crypto on-ramps. That's currently the status of cryptocurrency over in India. So you cannot legally use banks. You have no legal fiat to crypto on-ramps, right? So they've effectively called any ability to move from fiat into cryptocurrency, which effectively calls new adoption, right? So you have to be in crypto, or you have to receive it PTP, which doesn't happen as often as the ability for somebody to just buy it on their phone. Exchanges have had to go to a peer-to-peer model, but currently it's in this gray area. And if you guys know anything, in gray areas is where some of the worst oversight and regulation can come from. Also, some of the worst atrocities in mankind's history. I don't think that we're looking at any of that over here in India. But again, gray areas legally are where the government can step in and really cause a lot of pain and suffering, unnecessary pain and suffering for the citizenry. So, best wishes to our Indian community out there, and I hope that your Supreme Court makes the right decision.